This is a continuation from the previous video where we have already created a new funnel and a blank website. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to go into page editor mode and let's start creating something. Okay, so we're going to continue where we left off, and you can see here we can let's just click on create from blank. So here we are. So as you can see here, this is what I call the page editor mode, and right now it's like totally a blank canvas. So a lot of the page builders nowadays are what I call drag and drop, point and click, and to keep it rather simple or give you a perspective, so every page like this is normally divided into what we call sections, rows and columns. So that's what we're going to focus on right now. And if this doesn't make any sense to you at the moment, don't worry. I think it's better I just demonstrate to you. Okay. So to get started, if you notice there's this thing called section on the left here, there's row and then there's element. Okay, we'll start with section, and normally I recommend you just start off with this thing called the full width, alright? Click on your mouse and just drag it in like this, okay? So you will notice that you can further edit something on the right here whenever you click on editing. You can give it any name you want as well, but I'll just let you know personally, I won't give any names to the element just yet until I'm done with the page, and then I'll give it a name. Alright, now this name is not for public, it's more like your own reference, okay? So interestingly, there's this thing called margin and padding, where how much space do you want in between the sections. So as you start building the page longer, then you see that this is rather important because you don't want it to look too close to each other. You want to have like some kind of respectable spacing, okay? So there's outer spacing and there's inner spacing going on here, all right? And to give you maybe a better perspective, let's give it a background color. If you click on this, you can see that there are quite some colors here on default, and this is not an accident because in internet marketing, these particular color shades are sort of like proven to be conversion colors. That's why this is like very particular shade of green, blue, black, this particular shade of red, orange, yellow, and so on, right? But if you want to have your own custom color, you can. You just click on this, and you can click on this color palette, choose any color you want, or if you know the color coding, you can also put it here, all right? And then you can give it a name. But right now, let's not get too carried away. Let's just start with something that we already have here. I'm just going to go with red right now so that you can visually see this, okay? All right, so as for the padding here, which we haven't done anything yet, personally, here's my personal way of doing things. I like to give it size 40, all right? But not on the outside, but more like the inside, all right? I like to make it size 40 on the inside, so there's a bit of respectable padding, and also on the right and the left, all right? So this is just like my way of doing things, but if you want to have a smaller padding or bigger padding, it is totally up to you, all right? But I'm just letting you know this is how I normally like to do things. Okay, there's this thing called sticky. It's a useful feature if you want to have a bar that just follows your user around, like as they scroll to the bottom, you can make that happen as well. But I don't really use this feature a lot, and if I do, it's only for like one bar. Okay, don't do it to everything, or else the page is going to look really kind of messy or messed up. Okay, now next up, if you want to put a picture in the background, you can, but personally, I don't really do that because I like to keep my website simple. But I'm just letting you know that there is an option. Hey, just for the fun of it, let's just click on this, and you can upload pictures, which I'll show that in perhaps another video. But right now, I just want to like demonstrate to you what it might look like. All right, so I'm just going to like double click on maybe this picture as an example, and you notice that now it's using an image in the background. Okay, but once again, I'm just letting you know I don't use it myself. I don't quite like it. Now, if you want to like, there's some ways you can configure this. Okay, now if you wonder why I don't really like using it, it's because nowadays a lot of users are using mobile to view websites. So right now I'm doing this on a desktop computer. It might look nice here. It might look a bit more different on people's mobile, all right? So this is kind of why I don't like using this, okay? If you want to change the opacity, that means the transparency, you can. There's light fade, half fade, heavy fade, up to you. But I'm just going to like totally remove this, okay? So I prefer to use a flat color. Now, do you want to allow the row to take the entire width? It's up to you, but personally, I will not do that. Okay. Now let's go to advanced. If you want to change anything, you can add a box shadow, you can add a border as well. But I'll tell you what, I prefer we do that much later. And the width, right now, we're just going to leave it at full at the moment. Okay. So this is how you create a section. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to do is that we need to add a row inside. So we're going to click on add row over here. Or another option is that at the top left, you can click on add element and you can go down to rows. And you can see that we can have a choice here. We have 1 column, 2 columns, and so on. Personally, I like to stick to 1 to 2 columns maximum, because if you have too many columns, it might look a little bit weird in mobile, because when people browse in mobile, they normally read from left to right. Okay, so let's keep it simple. I'm just going to go with 1 column and drag it inside. All right. So think of sections, rows, and columns like something like a way of storing your items. Okay, think of it that way. So if you see this big line out here, this blue one over here, this is the row, and if you hover to the inside, it is the column. And how do you know that? It's because look at the option on the right, it kind of changes. 1 column row, 1 first column. Okay, so the first column here, normally I like to put a size 20. All right, at the top and at the bottom. The padding on the left and right, I'm just going to leave it be, because I think we could use all the space there. Okay, and the width, it's totally up to you. You can actually make it a little bit narrower, because you know some sales letters, you might want to make it a bit narrow, but right now I'm just going to leave it at 100%. And once again, reminder, element name, you can change the name if you would like, or you can do it afterwards when you're done. Like me, you know, I prefer to get the whole thing done and then I'll change the name afterwards. If you want to have any advanced options, it's on the right, advanced tab, you can do it. But I'll tell you what, I'll do it only when the occasion calls for it. Okay, and then I'm going to select this thing called first column. And once again, I think for this one, I would prefer to put it as 0 padding. All right, 0 padding. But once again, it's totally up to you how you want to do it. Okay, 0 padding. All right, and the content, we're just going to leave the alignment alone for now. Okay, so all right, so we now have a section. We've got a column, and of course, let's not forget that we have a row over here. So from here on out, we can start adding content into the page. All right, and I think for that purpose, I'll see you in the next video.